officially have a release date for infants, and all the baby challengers everywhere all collectively went, ah. Hey humans, how's it going? It's Shiny Today here, and yes, that's right, we finally have a date for infants to arrive into the game. March 14th, mark your calendars, that is when the new life state will be joining the game. Behind the Sims Summit showed us an entire trailer, as well as a whole bunch of other insights and commentaries from various developers and different people from the studio, from Maxis, and I'm very excited to go through a sort of deep dive, but also if you missed the summit, if you missed the trailer, it's all down below. But all you need to know, if you're a baby challenger or not, March 14th. That is when infants are arriving in the game. I did also make a predictions video about infants, which goes more into my hopes and my dreams for infants. So this is a deep dive of the trailer and everything else that happened in the summit. I have 3 pages worth of notes, so we're going to try and get through these relatively quickly. What I did find is straight off the break, there's a lot more like baby styled toys. So yes, we've got toddler toys, but there's a lot more like little like young baby kind of toys. So there's a lot of little clutter items that we're noticing around the entirety of this trailer, but like there's little wet wipes there in the corner for baby wipes. Whether or not they're functional, I don't know. They seem to keep alluding to like an idea of a changing table, but I haven't seen a changing table. But then also additionally, you can pick them up out of the crib. Yes, the cribs look different from bassinets, and then also you've got your little mobile. It's so cute. Building off of the no changing table situation, this mother took the child directly out of the crib and they jump and spin situation, kind of like the older Sims games, right? That's how they used to take toddlers out and change them. So probably what's going to be the vibe. Also, that little basket in the corner there, the purple one with the kind of little different doodads, kind of hoping that you can store toys in that, kind of like a toy box. And then the fuller it gets, the more stuff it has, but I don't know, it could just be a clutter item. They did dive into how they're going to be displayed in CAS, because obviously babies can't support themselves at this age, especially infants. So they have their cute little like seating situations, so that's pretty cool. Obviously the crawling is going to be a big part about this entire life phase as well. Also, the way that they kind of like sit with their knees and then they just flop over everywhere, the devs do talk about that a little bit later in the summit, so I'll get into that, but just the movements is just adorable. I have also noticed there's potentially 3 ways to feed these infants. So obviously we've got breastfeeding, and then it does look like you're going to be able to interact with a high chair, as well as bottle feeding as well. So that's nice for baby challengers that we're potentially going to have options. And then also additionally over and above the feeding, there's also looks like there's going to be like burping and winding, and then sometimes you end up with spit up and sometimes you end up with just bubbles. So yay! Hopefully no spit up on the clothes. So in the very, very corner of this frame, you can see a really cute fox light, and I hope it functions as a night light, because goodbye monsters. Speaking of high chairs, something I exclusively avoid as a baby challenger, but like the infants can get an actual mess. So yeah, and there was also a really cute moment where you can like airplanes, so yay? Question mark? I don't know. I don't like playing with high chairs, so hopefully it's not as frustrating. Okay, when it comes to bathing, based off of what I've seen, obviously it looks very much the same from this particular angle. It looks very much the same as how you would bath a toddler. However, they have the like little seating thing to keep them stabilized in the bath, so I do like that that little detail has been added. So it makes it different from toddlers. Then there are a couple of moments in the trailer where you're playing, and the child will bite the Sim. So I have a feeling teething is potentially going to be a big deal, because in CAS, there are various types of teeth as well. You've got the gummy, you've got a couple of teeth, like 1 or 2, and then 4. Then you've also got this entire party scene. There's a clown, there's a lot going on. There's a birthday llama, there's a lot of kind of clutter items. Again, high chairs, not something I play with, but hey, if you're potentially, because you can do toddler play dates with one of the stuff packs. So if you can also have like a proper like Kitty's birthday party now, yay. Also, if you can invite a clown, that'd be pretty cool, to a birthday party, and then they can make like animal balloons and stuff. They did hint at cute traits. Now, based off of the actual thing that they show in this exact like frame, there's 3 options, but if we go into the CAS where they're showing like CAS gameplay, there's an icon that's not shown in that screen, so I do feel like we're gonna get more than 3 traits potentially for infants. Also, there's a moment where the clown pops the like confetti thing, and then the kid looks like it gets a fright, and then suddenly all of them like start crying. So here's 2 things that I want to take away from that. Also, remembering this is potentially just trailer story making. do loud sounds, make the children like get startled and cry. And then if there's multiple infants in one area, do they all make each other cry? Like when the one starts crying, is it like a domino effect? This is what I want to know. It does look very cute, and there's another frame of the fox lamp, but it does look very cute when they're like settling down to go to bed. You can tuck in at night, and then they also seem to not sleep through at night as well, so yay, infants. Yay, things that was gonna go wrong in Baby Challenge. Also, then the developers spoke a little bit more about behind the scenes of adding infants to the game, and we've seen what potentially infants will look like in terms of having their plum blob, because they are a playable life state, so you can select them in your family management. They have the little plum blob on the head, you can see as the crawling scene here. They also did speak a lot about mobility with picking up infants and being able to move them around, sitting down with them, handing them off to other Sims. So it looks like supposed to probably be planned this way, but knowing Sims, probably not going to be the case. Because it's The Sims, right? So, I don't know. They plan things and then they don't get executed very well. So, they have until March to figure that out. Additionally, they have said within cast that they've completely customized the children from top to tail. So that's very exciting, especially if you are cast forward. I also did really like that there are the helmet type things for infants that are in the accessories, so that I really like. There's also a bunch of other cute hats, so yay. And then also the addition of birthmarks. Now currently, obviously, with the skin details shown here, there's only 2, but I would like to see them build on that, especially if they're going to be carrying, it makes sense to carry over into the other life phases, because that's something that we haven't had in the game, is birthmarks. And here, as much as the scale's kind of completely skewed because we are looking from ground up and stuff, and the toddler looks massive, but it is nice to see that they are working with socialization across the various ages. So from infant to toddlers to children, blah-de-blah, and then also they are incorporating pets in this as well. So your infants are going to be able to interact with everything. No more object babies! So there was a note in the little pop-up, if you read it, about favorite tastes and textures. So, I don't know, I hope that they don't make infants overly complicated and then toddlers are just like, in comparison. If these things can carry on over into toddlerhood as well, yay, but hopefully it doesn't break anything extra. And then if we're just looking at the dev insights, I did make some notes of specific wording and stuff that they've used. So started off by this dev segment by saying they want to surpass player expectations for this next life phase. And then they've developed a lot of new technologies so that you can sit down with infants, you can hand them over to other Sims, as we've already discussed. So they specifically said they're starting to develop their motor skills. So that's why their movements are a little bit more overly exaggerated, more floppy, more very all over the place, because infants are still learning how to move their limbs and stuff, but specifically develop their motor skills. That's a potential hint at skills, unless I'm reading too much into this, which is also very likely. But as I said in my predictions video, I want 3 skills max. I don't want anything more than that, because I feel like that's going to be overkill, and then toddlers then have 5 skills. They also are going to be able to crawl up and down stairs. They did an entire little bit about the animations of crawling up and down. So yeah, I am excited, but then as I have said countless times on stream, to other simmers, on Twitter, all of the other things, as much as I'm excited for infants, I have this looming doubt and dread about everything breaking and them taking on too much and then everything just being broken, and the requirement from mods to be able to fix it and balance it out. So I'm glad that they're taking it up until March 14th to be able to kind of push it out and to be able to test as much as possible before the release. But I do hope that if infants work properly, nothing else surrounds them, nothing else ruins anything either. So if you change something here, everything else dominoes out this way. So I really hope they've holistically approached this, that there are minimal to no bugs, we can wish, and that there's no real serious repercussions for the rest of the life phases. Anything that they add that's nice and that works, great. If they're making things more complicated, if they're making things more difficult, not a fan. But I will be doing an entirely separate deep dive into how to efficiently raise your infants up to the next life stage to go into your baby challenge and everything else. So that content will still be coming in the future, so look out for that. But anyways, besides the point, I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the trailer. And I do also know that there's an additional update that was dropped yesterday that I haven't gotten around to in this video because I wanted to focus on infants, so that'll also be coming soon. But outside of that, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here. Remember that we're all human differently, and I'll see you humans again soon. Dag dag!